A decimal is written in scientific notation when it is expressed in the form of some number a times 10 to the nth, where a is between 1 and 10, and n is just some whole number. The number a is called the mantissa, and the number n is called the characteristic. So, for example, 13,500,000, that would be how we'd normally write it. But in scientific notation, that's essentially a 1 with 7 digits to the right of it. So we put in 1 3500ths times 10 to the 7th. So the a part, the mantissa is 1 in 3500ths, and then the n, the characteristic, is 7. So if I want to go the other way, I want to make sure that I have 9 places to the right. So essentially what's happening, I have 1 and 245 thousandths, and I'm multiplying by a 1 with 9 zeros to the right. So that's basically the same thing as moving the decimal 9 places to the right. So I would need to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 1,245,000,000. If I have 3 and 600ths times 10 to the 5th, this is really 3 and 600ths times 100,000. I would need to move the decimal 5 places to the right. So this becomes 3, and then there's 1, 2, and then 3, 4, 5. This becomes 306,000. The average distance from Earth to the Sun is about 150 million kilometers. Astronomers call this distance 1 astronomical unit. And if I want to rewrite this number using scientific notation, so I take that 150 million, that'd be 1 in 1.5, so 1 in 5 tenths. And I count how many numbers are to the right of the 1. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This would be 1.5 times 10 to the 8th. The distance from Earth to the nearest star, Proxima Centauri, is about 40, what do we have here? Millions, billions, 40,208,000,000,000 kilometers. So the whole number part would be 4.0208, and you don't need to add any zeros after that. But this will be 10 to the, well, there's 1, plus 3 more digits is 4, plus 3 is 7, plus 3 is 10, plus 3 is 13. So this is 4 and 208 ten thousandths times 10 to the 13th kilometers. The distance from Earth to the nearest star, Proxima Centauri, is about, well, I just said 40,208,000,000,000 kilometers. As of August 2022, Voyager 1, Earth's farthest spacecraft, was about 23,300,000,000 kilometers away from Earth. So determine how many times greater the distance from Earth to Proxima Centauri is from the distance from Earth to Voyager 1. So basically we're dividing. And it works well to divide these using scientific notation. So the first one here was 4.0208 times 10, what did I say, 3, 9, 12, 10 to the 13th. The second one here, that would be 2.33 times 10 to the 3, 6, 9, 10. So this first part, the 4.028 divided by 2.33, that becomes about that's approximately let's go 4 places, so 1.7257. Nice thing about the other part, the 10 to the 13th divided by 10 to the 10th, is you would subtract exponents. So this is really 10 to the 13 minus 10. Whoops. So that becomes 10 to the third. Which, if you want to translate into standard notation, that's move the decimal 3 places to the right. So 1725.7. So 1,725 and 7/10 times greater. So essentially, our largest spacecraft has gone about a 1/1700th, well, 1/1700th of the distance from Earth to Proxima Centauri. Oh, and one last one. There are about 1 3/10 times 10 to the 8th households in the United States. The mean income per household is about 8 and 10, times 10 to the 4th. What is the total household income in the United States? So in this case, there's 1 3/10 times 10 to the 8th households. And the income 8.0 times 10 to the 4th per household. So the total household income is basically I would multiply these two numbers together. So I have 8 times 1.3. So let's write this. 1.3 times 10 to the 8th. And I'm multiplied by 8 times 10 to the 4th. And we can remember the commutative property. I can rewrite this as 1.3 times 8 times 10 to the 8th times 10 to the 4th. So 1.3 times 8 is 10.4. And then when it comes to multiplying numbers with the same base, you add the exponents. So this is 10 to the 12th. So we have 10 to the 4th times 10 to the 12th. That's not quite scientific notation, though I'm not being asked to write that. I'm asked to write this as standard. So scientific notation would be 1.04 times 10 to the 13th. I'd have to convert it so the first number is between 1 and 10. But what's being asked here, I need to move the decimal 12 places to the right. Oops. Try that again. So 1, 0. So there's one place, and then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So the total household income is in the millions, billions, about 10.4 trillion. So 10 trillion, 400 billion.